Michael Burry, the guy that predicted the housing bubble in 2008, is not yet convinced Bitcoin's thinking it's a bubble as well. Do you follow him on Twitter, and what do you think of his take? We talked about this yesterday, Da Vinci. Why is Bitcoin not a bubble?
Bitcoin is not a bubble because it's trying to become what the world's reserve currency, right? And do you think the world's reserve currency is going to do so with at a $1 trillion market cap? No,
Oh,
no. It needs to get up to like maybe 100 trillion. It could, but 25 trillion just to start to be even considered to be a currency, right? And a world's reserve currency to be considered for the reserve currency. So we got a long ways to go. Now, with that said, right? With that said, it's not ready. Remember what I said before. It's not ready right now to be the world reserve currency. It's not ready right now today. And so speculation, right, is going to be coming in. We're still early on the speculative curve. And so those people are going to come in. The next set of people are going to come in to say, it's going to be the world reserve currency tomorrow, and they have an expectation that it's going to be the world reserve currency in the future. So they overprice its value that happened. That what's it going to be in the future, right? Right now. So they bring forward the price what it's supposed to be in the future to right now, and that's what's going to be when it's going to be a real bubble and then collapse. As for its price, yes, I understand. I understand how you feel, man. Like if we try to look at the chart, right? At any asset, any other asset class, right? If you looked at this chart, right, I'd have to say, right, yeah, this thing's in a bubble. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? Any other asset class. So why is this asset class so different? Right? And it's because, well, simply because it's trying to become money, and its supply is being reduced all the time. And because more and more people are recognizing what's its value and where it's going to go, they have no choice but to buy it at this price. They have no choice, especially billionaires. They have no choice. Now that it's liquid enough for them to buy, right? They can drop a few $100 million and not move the price. Even $1 billion, right? And not move the price if they just do a little bit more, if they put a little bit of effort into it. So, with that said, it's still early, right? Anyone dumping on this, right? Those guys are ready to buy. Why? Because they know where it's going, and so that's why we won't see much in price depreciation from this point until we get to a crazy overvalued number that assumes, hey, you know what? We're a world reserve currency now. Like let's just say we get to 25. We go 25x from here, right? That's almost that's just past my $1.2 billion mark, right? $1 million mark, right? 25x from here to $25 trillion. That's the expectation. Hey, you know what? And then we get there. The expectation is, oh well, we need to be to 25 trillion to be the world reserve, to be considered the world reserve currency. Yes, that's true, but we're not. We don't have the infrastructure to be the world reserve currency, so it will end from there. It will end in a drop. Probably not as bad, but it will end as a drop. All right, next question.
good question. So, Vijit asked, what's the chance for hyper Bitcoinification?
Hyper Bitcoinification.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not. We're not ready for that just yet. I mean, it could happen, right? But we won't be ready, right? It just. too many people would be confused. Too many people would lose their money, try to get into this. They'd lose their bitcoins, or they would have it custodialed and then have it robbed from them, or they'll have it hypothecated away from them, where basically the collection of bitcoins, like at grayscale, some more than one person owns more like 100 people own the same bitcoin, basically, which happens in gold a lot, right? It's 100 people own the same bar of gold, and so yeah, it would end up like that, right? And we'll just have like, it'd be like, oh my God, if we did a hyper Bitcoinization right now, right, or this year, it'd be like gold going up really exponentially, and yeah, it's money, right? But the better money is actually having somebody store the gold and have a digital representation of it. So effectively, what would end up with is that exact same system of, hey, you know what? Of the gold standard, just like the gold standard. And you know what? You don't want to hold your bitcoins. You're gonna lose it. You're not gonna understand how to manage it. So we're gonna manage it for you. So deposit your bitcoin with us, and we'll issue certificates on that. Or you could use it through us, right? And meanwhile, they don't have it. So that's what you're gonna get if we have hyper Bitcoinization right now. All right, next and final question.